Hallows Eve Nightmare, submitted by Zara Leaks. On Halloween back in late 2015, I hosted a sleepover with two of my friends, Scarlett and May. May was timid and jumpy, but Scarlett was always the confident one. Anyway, we met up around 3 p.m. and set up a tent in my back garden. It was a pretty nice one, and had a carpet and a cozy place to hang out in. We set it up next to the back gate, which at the time was old and rotting, and when standing next to it, the average adult stood 2 feet over it. We all went trick-or-treating after we set everything up. It was around 7 by then. We met up with some other friends and generally had a really good time. We went back home around 10 p.m., and with the British weather being kind, it was dry all evening, and thankfully the neighborhood was pretty nice, so it was very peaceful that evening. We roasted marshmallows, played truth or dare, then finally laid down to sleep when it was pitch black out. The fairy lights in the garden barely illuminated anything, so it didn't bother us much. Out of nowhere, in the middle of the night, something woke us up. It was a creaking sound coming from the back gate. May shot up from her drowsy state. "Did you guys hear that?" she asked in a frightened tone. And just as she said that, we heard a cough coming from someone outside the tent. We were full alert now. Scarlett covered May's mouth in case she was going to scream as we listened to the silent night. When the deep, throaty voice came, we almost jumped out of our skins. "You kids want some candy?" A hoarse voice called to us. It sounded like an old man, someone who had smoked way too much in their lifetime. The rattling came from the gate again. "Come on, I know you're in there," the voice called out. Tears formed in May's eyes, and I couldn't move. It was like my 13-year-old self was paralyzed. Scarlett looked at me and nodded. She showed me her fingers and counted down. That was when we were going to run. When she hit 0, we all made a mad dash back inside the house. I'll never remove that image from my mind. When I turned around, standing at my gate, I saw the man. He had gray, long hair. His beard was matted and disgusting, and he had the most horrific look on his face. It was like pure evil. He looked hungry, but not like a person, but more like a starving predator, as if he wanted to harm us that very moment. The bolt on the gate, luckily, was across, and as he tried, he couldn't get in. But behind those bars on top of my gate, I saw something gleaming in his hand. A butcher knife. There was no mistaking it. I gagged in fear as I saw it, and as we made it to the back door, I turned the key and we ran up to my mother's room. She didn't believe us at first, but after looking out of her window, she ushered us inside, locked her door, and called 999, which is our 911. I then heard knocking on my front door. He must have gone around to it, I thought to myself. But the knocking soon turned to banging, and I heard the old man cussing from just outside. When she heard the sirens, she got off the phone. Then I heard a single curse coming from the man before he stomped away. His footsteps disappeared into the distance when we heard a police car pull up. They never saw the man, therefore they never caught him. They didn't find him even after we gave all our statements. That quickly ruined our Halloween, and we all slept in the living room after that. Or rather, we pretended to sleep.